Hey guys, it's Chey. Welcome to the channel if you are new, and if you're not, hey boo. So for today's video, I am doing my 2024 beauty favorites. In 2024, I really wasn't wearing too much makeup because I was preparing to move, but these are the products that I gravitated towards and that I really liked. So if you guys want to see what products that I was really enjoying, you already know the deal. If you like it here, if you like my vibe, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And let's go ahead and get into my 2024 beauty favorites. We're gonna go in order of how I do my makeup, and personally the first thing I always do is prime my face. Honestly, this first primer really took me by surprise, and that is gonna be the NYX face glue. Now, normally I am not a drugstore primer type of girl. I think the only other primer that I really liked was the e.l.f. Poreless Putty because it's very smoothing. But this is a gripping primer, and I've never been a gripping primer type of girl. What I love about this primer is that it does hydrate the skin and also helps your makeup last super long. It's not too sticky in my opinion, and it just feels super refreshing on the skin. And it actually did work really well with my skin, even in the summertime, which I'm pretty oily year round. But this was really nice to incorporate into my foundation routine. And the next primer that I really couldn't stop using at all was this Danessa Myricks Blurring Balm Powder. This is the tinted one, and I'm in the shade 8.5. As you can see, I'm already starting to hit pan on it because honestly, I love the technology in this blurring balm powder. Originally, I was gonna use this for like no makeup type of days. I'm pretty much an all or nothing type of girl. So I'm either gonna wear a full beat like this, or I'm just gonna let my skin breathe. But I just use this as primer. And I love that with this product, I don't need as much foundation with this product because it already gives that coverage. So, you know, Miss Danessa was not going anywhere. I do like to apply liquid highlighter underneath my foundation. And the one that I was really gravitating towards is this one from Melt Cosmetics. Now, this is the X Foil highlighter. This is in the shade Gold Ore. This bottle is just really luxurious. A little bit goes a long way with this product, and it really does give you that super beautiful golden glow. When it comes to my brows, I really don't switch up too much of my brow products. I am a Morphe brow pencil type of girl, or a Benefit Cosmetics number 4. Usually I'm bouncing between those two brow pencils, but this next brow pencil was quite the contender, and that is going to be the Sephora Collection Waterproof Brow Pencil. And the shade that I wear is Chocolate Brown. This product is very similar to a Benefit product. It does have the small brow pencil at the tip. It is retractable, and you get a brush to really brush through the brows. And the color on this is really pretty. And this year I actually was really into brow gel. Now normally I don't set my brows. I normally don't set my brows at all. And in the first half of the year, I really was loving this e.l.f. brow lamination gel. What I really enjoy about this brow gel is that it has that bristle brush to it to really lay down the brow hairs, and it really does hold the brows in place without being oily or greasy. And the next one is actually a brow gel from P.LOUISE, and I got it in my budget box. And this is going to be the Baby Chino brow gel. Now both of these are just your average clear brow gel, but the formulas are very different. The e.l.f. one has a thicker consistency, whereas this Baby Chino is very similar to the NYX brow glue, except this has a stronger hold without leaving the brows super crunchy, but they're definitely not going to budge. As far as tools, this next product was one that I really loved, and that is going to be the Tarte Airbrush Foundation Kabuki brush. And this brush literally makes doing my foundation super easy, especially if I'm in a rush. As you can see, she is very short and thick, okay, like me. I love how much surface area this really covers to just apply it and go, and it really does make your makeup look absolutely flawless. So this was definitely a favorite tool for 2024, and I'm really not into brushes or foundation brushes like that, but this one definitely blew me away. Now, when it came to foundation, there are 4 foundations I actually want to talk about, and I really love how these foundations look on the skin. We'll start with the one that I've had a little bit longer in my collection, and that is going to be the Makeup Forever HD Skin Foundation. Now, when this foundation came out, I personally loved the packaging of it, but for me personally, when I first tried it out, I didn't really think that there was anything that spectacular about this foundation, but as I kept wearing it, I noticed just how flawless the skin looked with this product on, and it is such a beautiful shade match to me. When it comes to Makeup Forever, the one thing they're gonna do right is definitely complexion. This next brand was actually the first time I actually ever tried this product, and they reformulated the formula, and this is the MAC Studio Fix Foundation, and this does have sunscreen in it. Personally, for me, I think having sunscreen in a foundation is a plus, because sometimes you forget to apply it before you get out the house. So if your makeup has a little bit of sunscreen in it, I'm okay with that. Some people don't like flashback. I haven't noticed anything with this, but this does have SPF 15, and this is a 24-hour oil control foundation. And the shade that I wear in this is NC50, and this is a very neutral shade. Now, the reason why I never tried MAC foundations before is because it was giving very orange, very Oompa Loompa. And I will say with this foundation, it is super lightweight. I will say it is a thinner formula than the Makeup Forever. The Makeup Forever is a little bit thicker, but they both provide that same medium to full coverage, more on the full side. I'm not afraid of a full coverage foundation at all. I will say that sometimes this is a little too neutral on me, because sometimes I do pull more golden. Sometimes this shade looks a little too neutral, but I make this shade work. The third foundation that was heavy in my rotation is actually from Kylie Cosmetics. This is the Kylie Power Plush Foundation. This is definitely a long wearing foundation. It is more of like that satin skin-like finish compared to the other 2 foundations, which are super matte, definitely for the girls that love a good beat. But this is perfect for those natural days. This is in the shade NW, and this is a little bit warmer, but it honestly reminds me of a more skin-like finish of the Fenty Beauty Pro Matte foundation. It is definitely lightweight, and it just feels and looks more natural. So I really enjoyed this foundation. And the last foundation that I really enjoyed for 2024 is, of course, from One Size Beauty. This is the One Size Turn Up the Base Full Beat Foundation, and honestly, this foundation is so full coverage. It is super matte. It definitely reminds me of the Be Perfect Chrome Cover Foundation. It is definitely a thicker formula out of the other foundations I did mention. So when you need a night out or you want to just have your makeup lasting for a long time, this is the foundation to go, especially in the hot summer months. They are supposed to be extending the shade range because this is not my perfect match. This is actually a little bit deep on me. This is in the shade Dark Deep 25N and it is very neutral, but the next shade down, which is going to be 15 Golden, is just too yellow. So I'm in between those shades. Formula on this is absolutely so gorgeous, and Patrick Starr is not playing when it comes to any of his base products. So this was such a beautiful foundation to wear. And so you can see the difference in the undertones of these foundations. I'm going to swatch them on my hand so that you can see. These are the foundations in order, starting with Makeup Forever, MAC Studio Fix, Kylie Cosmetics, and the last one on the bottom is the One Size Turn Up the Base Full Beat Foundation. For concealer, I was definitely in my UK makeup era. The concealers of the year for me was definitely Fine Cosmetics and Pink Honey. These formulas are so different. So we're gonna first talk about the Fine Beauty Cosmetics. First of all, let's get into the packaging of this. Now, this is a very luxurious packaging. It's absolutely stunning. They do have this formula in a different packaging because there were a lot of people complaining just about how bulky it is. I personally don't mind it, but if you're a makeup artist and you wanted to put this in your kit, they did come out with it in a slimmer packaging. Fine Cosmetics is definitely for the girls into that no makeup look, but this concealer is super full coverage. It's lightweight, it's hydrating, and it just looks so flawless on the under eye. And Pink Honey is similar yet so different. This Pink Honey concealer is called their Cloud Cover Concealers, and it is more of that soft matte finish, very similar to the Huda Beauty concealers, but this actually fills in any fine lines underneath the eyes and it doesn't make your under eyes look really cakey. I love this concealer. Honestly, there's nothing that I can really say about those concealers other than that I love them, and they just really changed how flawless my under eyes look. Now, when it came to cream bronzer, I'm sorry, I had to give it to Miss P.LOUISE. Okay, this is their Cheek of It liquid bronzers, and the shades that I use the most are So Cinnamon and Tiramisu Tease. Honestly, I use So Cinnamon a little bit more just because I personally don't like a lot of red in my bronzer, but I'm gonna swatch them for you so that you can see the shades that I like to use. They do come with this puff tip, and honestly I didn't think that I would love it at all. So initially when I first got it, I took it off, but this really does make it so much easier to just apply it on to the skin, and it just melts into the skin. Honestly, this is super lightweight, and the shade range is very extensive that anyone is going to be able to find their shade in these bronzers. These are the shades. This is Tiramisu Tease, and this one right here is So Cinnamon, and I definitely could use either one. P.LOUISE really just killed it with this launch. When it came to cream blush, there was only one cream blush product that really stole the show for me, and that is gonna be from Made by Mitchell. Okay, this Made by Mitchell Curve Case Collective is the blush of my dreams. So when doing my makeup, I never know which way I want to go for blush. So having this at the ready is just such a treat. And I love that I can also use this in my kit because you can scoop out the products and customize and mix to get that perfect tone. This is what it looks like. So literally you would never need any other cream blush. And this formula in this cream blush is kind of a soft matte finish, and it's also very blurring and skin-like. So any skin type can use this product. It is super versatile. Now, when it came to powder bronzer, I only have 2 powders, and one I feel like didn't get the hype it honestly deserved, and that is gonna be from House Labs. This is a lot smaller than their previous blushes. This blush shade is in the shade Fire Moon. This blush is definitely for the girls that are just getting into blush, or if they really want something to blush and bronze at the same time. This is the blush, okay? And it goes with so many makeup looks, especially for my skin tone. So this was definitely a blush I could not stop wearing. The next blush that I could not stop using is actually from an indie brand, and this is from Give Me Glow Cosmetics. This is their Dream Blush, and honestly, the name alone got me, okay? Plus the packaging is so cute. This packaging is such a dream, literally. It has clouds on it, it's pink, it's girly. And for me personally, like, I'm all about blush colors, and this was such a beautiful color. This is the shade Stifler's Mom, but this definitely pulls more bubblegum pink on me, and I'm literally in love. This formula is super blurring and smoothing, and it is so pigmented. They have a lot of shades of this blush, and I picked up 3. They're all so pigmented and stunning, but Stifler's Mom was definitely the one I was reaching for the most, but the formula on this is 10 out of 10. When it came to powder highlighter, honestly, these highlighters from Fenty Beauty honestly killed it for me. These are the Fenty Beauty Demi Glow highlighters, and I have the shades Loose Change and Yum Rum. So Yum Rum was the first one that I picked up, so you know I had to really like it to get another shade. This is what Yum Rum looks like. It is that perfect pinky gold. It's like a pinky rose gold shade. It is absolutely so stunning, and Loose Change is beautiful as well. It did come broken, okay, because I got it from Ulta and they did not bubble wrap it or anything. This is more of a baked highlighter formula, so it's very fragile. So for it to come broken really broke my heart. You can really build up these highlighters if you're looking for something really blinding, but you can also make it as soft as you want it. This is Yum Rum. As you can see, it pulls more pink, and then the other shade is going to be Loose Change, and that is going to be more of that gold. It's absolutely stunning. When it came to face powders, I normally just stick to my Fenty Beauty powder foundation, but of course, Makeup Forever really was changing the game for me with their matte velvet skin foundation powder. Now, I did have the old formula, so when they came out with this new one, I really was like, I'm not getting the new one, but it is so stunning. It is super lightweight, and it really does mattify the skin, and it looks really flawless on. I'm in the shade 4N68, and it is definitely very similar to the MAC Studio Fix powder foundation, except this has a little bit more coverage to it. So if you're looking for a full beat powder foundation that is going to last all day long on your skin, definitely check out Makeup Forever. Their complexions are bomb.com. For loose powder, this one from Be Perfect was game changing, and it is super, super brightening. So I have the shade Honeycomb. This is very similar to a Huda Beauty Banana Bread, but a little bit more brightening. So you definitely want to be careful. I would only use this product underneath the eyes. I wouldn't use this all over the face at all because it is going to brighten. This is such a beautiful smoothing powder. It's absolutely stunning, and I loved using this, and it also did help with controlling my oils. So of course I had to include that in here. And speaking of glam, Jaclyn Cosmetics did close down, and honestly this brightening under eye powder was literally everything I could have ever needed. So when Jaclyn Cosmetics shut down, I was looking for an alternative to this palette, and Made by Mitchell answered my prayers. Now I definitely still use this when I'm not filming, but whenever I want something comparable, I grab my Made by Mitchell eye lights. These are definitely more full coverage than the Jaclyn Cosmetics brightening powder, and also this is a little bit more hydrating. The Jaclyn Cosmetics is super mattifying, which I don't mind, okay? I don't mind a good old matte under eye, but this one definitely wears a lot softer on the under eyes. Now I wasn't really sure what shade to get, so I started off with the one that was most similar to my Jaclyn Cosmetics palette, and that is in Firelight. This is what Firelight looks like, and this is also their darkest colorway. This is definitely such a beautiful, beautiful powder, and when I want something more natural, something toned down, like not super brightening, this is the one that I will gravitate towards. But when I'm looking for that bright, wake you up type of under eye, I am grabbing Miss Daylight right here. Okay, now Daylight does look really scary, I'm not gonna lie, but when it comes to under eye brighteners, you're either all in or, you know, stay away. This is what Daylight looks like, and honestly I just used the bottom 2 rows. And the last under eye product, okay, there was something in the air when it came to UK makeup. They were just dropping all of the complexion, and they really did their big one. The UK really did their big one when it came to complexion. They gave us the range, coverage, everything that I personally look for. But Miss P.LOUISE came out with this cute powder. Okay, first of all, it's in a heart shape. This is the Power Powder Under Eye Pressed Powder. This is in the shade Honey. These powders definitely pack a punch. I will say it is definitely the closest in formula to the Jaclyn Cosmetics brightening powder, but this is definitely a lot more full coverage. And honestly, you really have to make sure you tap off a lot, because this powder picks up a lot when using a powder puff. So I would definitely spend your time counting to 10, tapping off the excess, because it is going to give you that smooth, bright under eye. And I'm never scared of a bright under eye, so I definitely go for it. And what I love with P.LOUISE is that you can get this powder in their 3 for $30 deal. So I actually have a shade that's brighter than this and a shade that's a little bit deeper. But Honey is definitely my most used shade, and it looks so gorgeous underneath the eyes. An honorable mention is going to be from Pink Honey as well. That under eye powder, especially paired with their concealer, is chef's kiss. But the Pink Honey under eye powder is definitely a contender. This is in the shade Soft Sunshine. So if you guys are wondering what I used on my under eyes today, it is this baby, okay? Now, Soft Sunshine is definitely that pale yellow, and a little bit definitely goes a long way. As you can see, the under eyes are giving very flawless, very blurred. So definitely, if you guys are looking for a great under eye brightener, I would definitely try out the ones from Pink Honey. Jumping into eyeshadows, I really was not really using too many eyeshadow palettes, but when I got a hold of this one eyeshadow palette, I was like, this is the only neutral eyeshadow palette I actually need. And honestly, I know a lot of girls love the Makeup by Mario Master Mattes eyeshadow palette, but baby, if you love a nice neutral eye look and you're looking for an all matte eyeshadow palette, baby, this one from Be Perfect is the one you need. This is the Be Perfect Ulti Matte eyeshadow. And if you have a problem with browns pulling brown on you, like for me personally, being a brown skin girl, a lot of eyeshadows that are brown pull more red and burgundy on me, but this one is literally perfect. This is so beautiful, and I love the gradient of how it goes from light to dark. And because this is from Be Perfect Cosmetics, the formula on this is 10 out of 10, okay? The pigment, baby, is pigmenting, okay? Be Perfect has the most pigmented eyeshadows you will ever use. It's super easy to blend, and literally what you see is what you get. So this was heavy in my rotation. The next eyeshadow palette is something I like to use in conjunction with my Be Perfect eyeshadow palette, and that is going to be the ColourPop Golden Hour palette. And this is such a beautiful, beautiful palette. Again, I am a neutral girly, so these shades are literally perfect. Look at this, and the shimmers are absolutely stunning. The only downside with this palette is that it looks like it's super deep, but it's not, okay? On my skin tone, personally, it does not run that deep. So I definitely have to use this with another palette. And honestly, pairing this with the Be Perfect palette, these shimmers were literally made for me, and I love ColourPop shimmers. Usually with ColourPop palettes, they just don't have enough depth for me. That's why I said using the Be Perfect palette is literally a staple for me. Next palette that I'm going to be talking about is a water activated liner palette, and it is from P.LOUISE. This is the Off the Record eyeliner palette. Got this in my budget box. This is their neutral one in You Rock My World, but the only thing with this is that it is a liquid, so I would not recommend putting it in the waterline, but it is perfect for that top lash line, and when it sets, but I would not use this on brides or anything like that. But this is just a fun way to play with liner, especially if you have the colored versions. This is the neutral one. I love that it gives you, of course, a black, a white, and every neutral shade in between, and you get those warmer tones. I did get a P.LOUISE liner set in my advent calendar, and that one has some shimmers in it, and it's so pretty. I haven't tried the shimmer formula yet, but I am itching, okay? Itching to really get it on the eyes, okay? But I thought that this launch was super innovative and really out the box, and it just makes makeup fun. And we are pretty much dwindling down to the last products, and those are going to be lippies. And honestly, for me, Glamlite killed it with their lip kits. Now these two lip kits I just could not stop wearing, okay? The first lip kit is from the Twinkie collection, and honestly, it is such a beautiful lip combo. And the next lip kit that I personally loved, but I did not think I was gonna like this at all, is from their Halloween 2 collection. Now this is more of a cool tone lippy, and with that blue gloss with it, it really did elevate the lips, and the combo is gorgeous. When it came to the Twinkie collection, just the smell is so nostalgic. It is like a hint of vanilla. It's so gorgeous, and Glimlight of course kills it with the packaging. So the packaging is 10 out of 10, and I know that these look very similar, but they are very different, okay? The Twinkie one definitely pulls a little bit more pinky, very similar to the e.l.f. and Michaela lipstick. And this one is definitely more cool tone, so it's definitely a lot more grungy. And I will list some honorary mentions in the description box for other lipsticks that I was really enjoying when it came to formula and pigment. They're gonna be listed in the description box just because this video is getting super long. But that completes my 2024 beauty favorites. Let me know if you guys have tried any of these products or you want to see me use them a little bit more on the channel. But thank you guys so much for watching today's video, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.